Imagine this: the dead of night in the Iraqi desert, 2006. A squad of elite U.S. Navy SEALs hunkers down in a remote outpost, hearts pounding as distant explosions light up the horizon like hellfire. Bullets rip through the air, radios crackle with desperate calls for backup that never comes, and in the chaos, brotherhood is forged in blood. The kind of raw, unflinching terror that doesn't just test a soldier's mettle but shatters it. That's the pulse-pounding world of Warfare, the upcoming 2025 war thriller that's already got Hollywood buzzing and military movie fans salivating. Directed by the visionary Ray Mendoza, a real-life LAPD SWAT veteran turned filmmaker who's infusing this with authentic grit alongside co-director Alex Garland, the mind behind Ex Machina and Civil War. This A24 production drops in IMAX theaters on April 11, 2025, clocking in at a taut 90 minutes of non-stop intensity. Starring heavy hitters like Dacre Montgomery, Stranger Things, The Boys in the Boat, as the squad leader, with Will Poulter, The Maze Runner, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Joseph Quinn, Stranger Things, A Quiet Place, Day One, and Charles Melton, May-December, rounding out the core team, plus Cosmo Jarvis, Shogun, in a key role. It's a genre-bending blend of historical war drama and immersive survival horror that's shot entirely on IMAX-certified cameras for maximum visceral impact. At its heart, Warfare plunges you straight into the real-life Battle of Ramadi on November 19, 2006, following a SEAL team isolated and under siege by overwhelming insurgent forces. No Hollywood gloss, just the brutal fog of war as lived by the men who were there. It's based on the first-hand accounts of director Mendoza himself and his fellow SEALs, promising a spoiler-free dive into the terror of being cut off, ammo dwindling, and every shadow hiding death. Think Lone Survivor meets Black Hawk Down, but with a 24 signature edge, less flag-waving patriotism, more haunting exploration of fear, loyalty, and the thin line between hero and survivor. Now, let's dissect that teaser trailer, because holy hell, it's a masterclass in tension building that left me gripping my screen. It opens with a black screen pierced by the low rumble of rotors, then bam, sweeping IMAX vistas of sun-baked Iraqi compounds under a merciless sky, dust devils swirling like omens. Cut to Montgomery's steely gaze behind NVGs, his breath ragged as he whispers coordinates into a dying radio, while Poulter's character, all coiled intensity, racks a rifle with that unmistakable metallic snick that sends chills down your spine. The visuals are staggering. Practical explosions bloom in ultra-crisp detail, shrapnel whizzing past the lens like you're in the kill zone, intercut with stark, handheld close-ups of sweat-slicked faces etched with dread, Quinn's wide-eyed recruit mouthing a silent prayer, Melton's quiet powerhouse scanning for threats. The sound design? A symphony of chaos, muffled booms, frantic heartbeats syncing with the score's throbbing percussion, and those eerie silences between firefights that make you hold your breath. Hidden clues pepper it: a flickering jihadist propaganda video on a battered TV, cryptic radio chatter hinting at a traitor in the shadows, and a bloodied American flag trampled in the sand, subtle nods to the psychological fractures ahead. Standout scene? A night raid gone sideways, SEALs breaching a door in green-tinted night vision, only for the frame to shatter into strobe-lit mayhem as RPGs turn the world to fire. It's not just action, it's storytelling poetry, each frame dripping with dread. The cast is a powder keg of talent primed to explode. Dacre Montgomery steps up as the platoon leader, channeling that brooding authority he nailed in The Boys in the Boat. Expect him to carry the emotional core, his all-American jaw set against unraveling sanity. Will Poulter, ever the chameleon, brings his wiry intensity from Midsommar, likely as the wisecracking vet who's seen too much, delivering lines that cut like shrapnel. Joseph Quinn's fresh-faced energy from Stranger Things screams cannon fodder with hidden depths, the heart of the squad everyman whose arc could gut punch us, while Charles Melton, riding high off May-December's buzz, promises stoic power as the muscle, his silence speaking volumes. Cosmo Jarvis adds that unpredictable wildcard vibe from Shogun, maybe as a CIA spook or insurgent liaison. Fans are losing it online, Reddit threads explode with, This is the SEAL movie we've waited for since Berg's Lone Survivor. TikTok edits syncing trailer clips to Post Malone's circles for ironic war vibes, and Twitter polls hyping it over Civil War for raw authenticity. The hype feels electric, justified by Mendoza's insider cred. No CGI shortcuts, just real locations and practical effects that honor the 11 SEALs who didn't make it home that day. No franchise ties here. This is a standalone gut punch, not some MCU cash grab, but it slots perfectly into A24's pantheon of elevated genre flicks like Everything Everywhere All at Once or The Green Knight, blending prestige drama with blockbuster spectacle. Budget whispers peg it around $40 minus $50 million, funneled into those jaw-dropping IMAX visuals. Rumors of shot on film 65mm stock mean it'll pop off screens like Dunkirk on steroids, with VFX houses like DNEG polishing the chaos without over-relying on green screen. My theories? Without spoiling, that trailer tease of internal betrayal screams a plot twist where loyalties fracture under pressure. Maybe a squad member's hidden agenda, or the fog of war blurring friend from foe, echoing real Ramadi horrors. Speculation. It'll pivot from pure action to a haunting character study, exploring PTSD's invisible wounds, with a third-act surge that redefines survival. Hype justified? Absolutely. This isn't rote war porn. It's a cinematic time machine to hell, directed by a survivor, poised to snag Oscar nods for editing, sound, and maybe a breakout performance. Look, as a die-hard war movie analyst, Warfare has me more pumped than a fresh mag in a firefight. It's the authentic, unflinching gut check Hollywood's been dodging since The Hurt Locker, and with this cast and creative firepower, it could redefine the genre. If you're hyped for boots-on-ground realism that hits like an IED, mark April 11, 2025, on your calendar. This one's gonna leave scars. What about you? Drop in the comments. Who's your early MVP? Montgomery's grit or Poulter's fire? Hype level from 1 to 10? Smash that like button if you're Team Warfare, subscribe for more deep dive trailers breakdowns, and hit the bell. We're counting down to release with weekly updates. Stay cinematic, folks, over and out.